Hello, BookTube. I have a little mail for you today. No horrible, endless orgies of mail, but 3 packages. One little, one big, one box. So we'll see if there's anything here that is squeal-worthy. The boxes usually are, but we'll do this first one. Okay, the first one is a made-up story. It's a novel. Comes out in June. From Amazon, is that right? Oh, just this here. Amazon Crossing, yes. This is Rosa Ventrella, translated from the Italian by Anne Goldstein. This is A Decent Family. So once again, another work of translated literature. This is close to 100, just in the month and a half that I've been opening mail in 2020. That's incredible to me, just incredible. Let's see here. This book takes place in the author's hometown, the port city of Bari, where class differences are acutely felt. The author's precocious narrator is Maria de Santos, a headstrong girl nicknamed Malacarne, the bad seed. For her dark features and tempestuous disposition. The story follows Maria from her hard-knocks childhood in a poor neighborhood to her teenage years in the elite schools to which her sharp intellect has won her admission. Her adolescence is colored by a contentious home life. Her father, a hardscrabble fisherman, is also an iron-fisted patriarch easily moved to violence. While the behavior of one of her brothers escalates rapidly from juvenile mischief to callous criminal activity. As tragedy repeatedly seeks out the DeSantis family, Maria finds refuge in a forbidden friendship with the son of a local kingpin who will cycle in and out of her life for years. So this takes place over a great deal of time. So who is Rosa Ventrella? She was born in Bari, as we've said, and still resides in Cremona, Italy, where she teaches creative writing. She has degrees in modern history and school management and has worked as an editor and written for the magazine Il Fiore di Male. A Decent Family, which has been translated into 20 countries to date, is her first novel to appear in English. So this is a huge success. And the first one to appear in English. Fantastic. Okay, so this comes out in June. I don't need to pay attention to it right away, but you can put it on your radar if it interests you. Then this next one is finished copy. Oh my. Oh goodness gracious. All right. Okay, we've already seen this, and we saw it recently, so I don't have to windify on and on about it. And I won't go into my homily. I won't go into my rant. I've given a rant on this book already. But it's great that the book exists. Let's put it that way. It's great that the book exists. It's worth your time and attention. My complaints were centered on its cover only. This is the new Library of America volume. The Library of America aims to be, and is in large part is, a sort of a commemorative American classics library. They're beautifully done things, sewn bindings, acid-free pages, minimal editorial intrusion. They really are volumes to have. And this is one of their latest volumes. This is 3 novels by the novelist Robert Stone. 3 of his great novels, including Dog Soldiers, which is Dog Soldiers and A Flag for Sunrise are 2 of his most popular, most taught books. These are challenging, very literate, very well done novels. There are 3 of them here. There could be another volume easily here, and I don't think there will be. And this is coming out on March the 3rd is the date for it. So those of you who collect Library of America volumes, this is certainly one that you're going to want to have. And those of you who are interested anyway, even if you don't collect Library of America volumes, this volume is still interesting because this is the Library of America inducting into their ranks a figure only recently dead. Which is, that is the spectrum that you run with Library of America. You run from long gone authors, centuries gone, who are either in the canon or who aren't in the canon, and should be. Figures like Washington Irving or Nathaniel Hawthorne or something like that. And then you have more recent figures who are dead, but who are in the Library of America, like, for instance, John O'Hara or Robert Stone. And then you have the very rare instance of living authors whose works began being inducted into the Library of America while they were still alive, like Philip Roth or Ursula Le Guin. So it's interesting anyway that the Library of America is inducting Robert Stone. That is, on some level, somewhere, an editorial bid to say that Robert Stone belongs in this company, that he belongs in canonical company. And that's interesting to think about, for me, as a critic and as a lifetime reader of Robert Stone, that's interesting for me to think about. Is that true? Is that true? And if so, what do we make of that? And I have a feeling, I would actually kind of hope, that this volume, and this volume is coming out at the same time as a collected works of nonfiction and also a new biography by Madison Smart Bell. I'm hoping that that flushes out of the woodwork some really good writing on Stone to help me think about whether or not he belongs in the canon, and if so, how and why and to what extent. So it's going to be interesting. This summer is going to be interesting because we're going to see those of you who care or who watch critical journals, you know, like the American Scholar or the New Republic or the London Review of Books or the New York Review of Books. The New York Review of Books will almost certainly have a big spread on Robert Stone. Those of you who are interested in such things, that you can expect to see something like that. I think that's fascinating. And then we'll do the box. We'll do the box and then we'll be done. A nice quick mail haul, as opposed to the gigantic ones that we've been getting lately. And now with the box, I have to wonder, is this going to be another double? Not that I mind, but it's always nicer if it's something. And this is a heavy box too. It's got adhesive, but somebody thought it needed to be taped as well. So it could be something big. What do we got here? Oh, okay, all right. This is kind of a double. Well, that's all right. That's all right. This is at the end of this month. This is a February release. I haven't got to it yet. Not in anything like the extent that I want to. This is Stephen Levy's Facebook, the inside story of Facebook. This is going to be a $30 hardcover coming out at the end of the month. I've kind of backseated it because I don't use Facebook. Do you use Facebook? Do you use Facebook? Or has your confidence in it been dinged by all of the high-profile scandals that have associated with it in the last 4 years? And if you use it, does it mostly annoy you? I got off Facebook before the scandals broke about Cambridge Analytica and whatnot because it mostly annoyed me. I would go on and be annoyed, and then I thought, well, wait a minute. If your reaction to this particular website is always annoyance, then why go on it at all? And that automatically made me curious about the rest of you. For instance, do you use Facebook in a way that doesn't annoy you? And is it maybe possible for me to? Should I sign back on to Facebook and maybe dump all of my old friends and add all of you? Maybe have a community over there that we make ourselves, that we know isn't going to be annoying? That might be a way. But one way or another, this is a huge soup to nuts history of Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg built the original Facebook in barely 1 week during his sophomore year of college. Today, with almost 3 billion users, Facebook is an omnipresent global force. The company began with a gloriously idealistic goal to connect the world. But Facebook has recently been bombarded with controversies surrounding election-influencing fake news accounts, the handling of its users' personal data, and the enormous power of its founder CEO over what the world sees and says. Millions of words have been written about Facebook, but no one has told the complete story, documenting its ascendancy and missteps to definitively explain its successes and failures until now. For 3 years, celebrated tech writer Steve Levy had an unprecedented access to Facebook's key executives and employees, including Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg. His sweeping new book, Facebook: The Inside Story, is an indispensable narrative that digs deep into the company's history, revealing fascinating new insights as he tells the full story of the company that has changed the world and reaped the consequences. So, an important book. This should probably go on my list for today. I should probably do this today because it's coming up and I do want to write about it. So there you go. That was our mail. Interesting stuff. So we have Facebook, the complete history of Facebook, as complete as we've got so far. We have A Decent Family, and a very popular novel now in English for the first time. And we have the new Library of America volume, this time of 3 novels of Robert Stone, that's bound to spark some discussions, and that is fascinating to me. I can't wait to read them. So there you go. That is our mail. So there'll probably be more mail today. We'll see. If there is, again, you'll be the first to know. Thank you, BookTube.